What's the primary difference between men's and women's programs and how should they differ? Well, spoiler alert, first off, it's largely in the marketing, not actually the delivery. Okay. So a women's program that says it's going to fix your hormones, deal with your menopause, etc. It's all largely a myth because at the end of the day, the principles are the same and then there's some nuances where they differ. So what are those two big principles of all program design that's optimal for both men and women? Intense training. So having to get stronger, lift up heavy things and put them down. That's a universal truth of fat loss or muscle gain. You've got to get into the gym or a home gym and lift things up. Try to get stronger. The concept of progressive overload is the key there, where if you're doing the same weights you're doing a year from now, you're likely not seeing your physique change in any measurable way. Okay, so that's number one, intense training. Number two, again, principles of nutrition differ very little. You have to get enough protein. You have to manage your calories, whether you're looking for fat loss or muscle gain. There's no getting around the law of thermodynamics. And eat whole foods most of the time. That's going to be, until further notice, the principles of both men's and women's nutrition advice. Okay. So you get those two variables in place. That's 80-90% of the game. Now, where it differs is in these three variables here. Specialty training. Now, obviously, a woman might desire more of a focus on glutes. They may have to train harder in their upper body because men respond better to upper body training. Whereas a man might need to focus in more on his glutes or legs as well, because other reasons, likely he is top heavy and needs to balance it out. So that's where you kind of get into the nuances of your training plan in what you specialize, what you focus on. RP stands for rest periods. Women can manage a lot of work and recover faster. They obviously aren't as strong. They have 100 times less testosterone in most cases. So where they make up the difference is in how much volume, total reps and sets they can pack into the same 30 to 60-minute workout that a man is insufficient at recovering from. But he can lift heavier weights, so then his rest periods can be longer duration, but still same total volume. So don't get into the group fitness class mindset here, but think supersets, giant sets where you're kind of jumping around from exercise to exercise. A woman can balance that out a lot better. Last piece is mobility. Women generally have more flexibility and they like to do yoga and Pilates and all these things. And certainly there's a benefit to that. But men in particular need to focus on their mobility. They need to do a bit of yoga. They need to have some, hip and knee and shoulder mobility work put into their training plan. Otherwise, they're stiff as a board and they increase their injury risk. Okay. So consider the foundational universal truths of all program design, both nutrition and training. It's going to apply equally to men and women. And then the nuances are where you kind of fine tune things based off what you're trying to accomplish, based off gender. Okay. So if you want a calorie calculator that sets you up with your nutrition targets, both men and women, it's going to base it more on body size and age than anything else. Go to mitchkelver.com/calculator in the description and we'll hook you up. Cheers.